Asante Samuel in prime right now, right? Either, bicycle, getting out of breaks or T-step. So prime hated, and now that I know you actually worked out with him, he hated the T-step. So when he trained me, he was like, man, he went off on us. Now here's the thing for me. Uh, my whole career, I did the T-step, right? So then I like to experiment and iterate and see what works best for me, And when I used his technique, which is, bicycling out of there, it actually worked better for me when I was playing off man. So I would
Mm.
love to hear your opinion of this situation between Asante and Prime. Um, what works best for you, or your philosophy on it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just go into like my playing style. Um, I learned, and this was from Charles Woodson. I remember when I first got to Green Bay. I remember I wasn't really making any plays or anything. I was just trying my ass off, and I remember Charles was getting picks every week, and I'm like, damn, like he must be that good, and he was that good. But sometimes he wasn't practicing. Sometimes he didn't have like the craziest technique, but he always made plays. And for him, I remember one day I came back to the facility. I was like, I need to watch film. I need to like learn how to because I'm not making any plays. I'm every game my uniform's getting dirty, which is a cardinal sin for a cornerback. Like don't be on the ground. Like it was dirty every week. And I remember Al Harris and I was with Al Harris too. Al Harris and Woodson were like, damn bro, like what are you doing out there? I was like, I'm trying to make plays. They go, well, you don't get dirty. DBs don't be on the ground. And I came back one night to just pretty much teach myself how to watch film and look at myself on TV on the film room. And I remember somebody was in there, and it was Charles. It was like 8 o'clock at night, and he's in there watching the film. And he's like, "Hey man, come sit down." There was like a stadium style seat. He was above where the film was, and I just sat down in the front row. And he's, "I'll show you some things." And he was never one to go out of his way, but if you asked him, he'll answer because he was all business when he was there. And he literally was like, he said it's situational football. It's formations, it's down and distances, it's splits, it's just understanding what's going to happen on that snap. And then that will really dictate you how you play certain things. He's like, if I get, let's say it's 3rd and 10, and I get this formation, I get this split, and I see it on the film 3 times, I'm starting it. Because if it's 3rd and 10, I see that formation, I see that split, I'm going. I'm playing in percentages. And so pretty much for me, I was like, damn, like I know you see everybody here on film, like I talk about it, y'all talk about it, like really on the technique, which is huge. But I think a lot of people forget like it's still the game of football. You can like I was in the Seahawks with Sherman. And Sherm, I'll tell you right now, he was not super fast. He did not have the best technique when it came to playing certain coverages. But what he knew exactly what y'all were gonna do. He will tell you what every single person is going to do. So he was able to put himself in position to make a lot of plays because he knew what was going to happen. And so when I did that, it really slowed the game down for me. And it's going to sound crazy. I didn't have to work as hard because I had an idea of what was going to happen to me. I knew once we got to the middle of the field, they were on the logo. They had condensed formations, Max Pro. They're throwing the ball deep. Like 9 out of 10 times, they're throwing the ball deep. So, shit, I might bail right here. You know, I might, I might bicycle if I get a stutter because bicycle is going to allow me to recover faster on the stutter go. You know what I'm saying? Or let's say it's empty and there's a high percentage. It's going to be quick game. So I might get out that thing and I might T-step because it's going to give me a faster break to jump on it right now. Or if I know I got help, I might T-step to jump on it right now. But a lot of times when it comes to like my footwork, I really don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just breaking. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I may train the bicycle. Okay, let's say we're playing at Lincoln Financial and where Philly plays, and it can be wet. The grass is soft. All right, I probably need a bicycle here. I need to make sure my feet are good because the ground is softer. But most of the time, I'm just playing. But I will have more of a conscious mind based on the surface of what I'm doing. Um, so for me, it's just honestly just reacting. But really, it came down to like understanding the scheme of football, like what's happening, because then it's really more about this than this. And so that's why it's funny when I get guys I train for the combine. I'm like, guys, I'm gonna be real. Like 70 to 80% we stuff we do is not going to be on the field. Like it's not, I say,
Hmm.
because at this level, like that's what it is. It's situational football. Well, yes, we'll get the conditioner right. We'll make sure like our feet are clean. Like I'll really help you with the muscle memory, all these things on where to go, how to do this. But I'm telling you, from my perspective, I was a real athlete when I got to the league, and I got exposed because I did not have a plan before the snap. I didn't really take into consideration really what the offense was doing, how they're going to attack us. How can I put myself in position to be early? Um, because I mean, going back to Kevin Mathis, he told D'Angelo Hall, he said, D Hall, he said, you run. He was reported running a 4.1, 4.2. He goes, you run a 4.1 because I run a 4.5. He said, but I guarantee you, I'll get there before you because I know it's coming. And he said that to D Hall. And I was like, that's when D Hall was like, damn, I really need to get on, understanding what's happening. So as much as like the technique and stuff is happening, it's situational ball because the answers are right there. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, I'm sorry, what crazy, but yeah, again, when it came to the footwork, I don't know what I was doing, guys. I just broke. Like, just get
Right.
there.
I mean, you're a true professional, man. And you play with some greats. I forgot all about Al Harris, man. I used to get cut ups of him, his press man, and
Press
everything,
Lord,
and
yeah,
watch.
bro. And people don't know
Right.
he used to always people are like, oh, he's always false stepping because he will step forward and then shuffle out.
Hmm.
And I'm like, again, T step, bicycle, whatever you run your feet, whatever you want to do. Like, is the ball on the ground? Did you pick it off? Period. Same thing with the whole Al Harris false step in. It's no different than a re-step, than a pure step, is how I see it. Because it
Hmm.
was him moving. Like when I did the Seahawk re-step, where you 6 inch step to the side and then you kick. So lock with step kick, you step and then lockout comes with a kick. Obviously hand
Hmm.
jam. Um, and so that was I was like, he didn't false step. It allowed him to move to push off and get into position. And so that's what he was doing. So yeah, it was, and I got to see him suplex people every single week, man. He was, bro, guys, he was strong as hell. Like he would come into the weight room, he would bench, he would bench 225, 4 sets of 25, 4 sets of 20, 225 and leave. Like that's what he
Oh
would do.
wow.
And that's it. he,
Hey,
he would do hella, he would do hella abs and that's it. And he would leave. And so, um, dog, it was funny, man. It was funny.
so that's interesting. Back to technique with Al Harris. So my biggest thing, so I would actually teach the false step in certain press man techniques, right? So when he's inching back, or some people call it soft shoe. I would actually teach the false step because it created a sense of balance. So like, I'll give you an example. So some coaches never play corner. And I'm not saying you have to coach corner that you had to play it at a high level. I'm not saying that, right? But there's
Yeah,
a
we got a better
feeling.
feel when we did.
Yeah, like you're on an island, and sometimes if you don't want to get your feet stuck in cement, or you know how it is when you're kind of like antsy and you're like rocking back sometimes on your heels, then your body. So my thing was
Mm-hmm.
when I know that I'm going to use this particular technique, let's just say Al Harris, when he's going to inch back, it actually creates a sense of balance. You like, okay, I know I'm a false step with my right foot. Pop, pop. Now I'm back in balance, and I can just like playing basketball, right? You moving laterally.
Yeah.
So it made sense to me, at least in my mind. when he did the false step. The only coaches that I ever have heard in my life that said, "Hey, son, don't false step," are guys who are coaching corner, who play receiver or they play offensive line. That's just like, dude, you don't know how this feels. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that was my philosophy on it.
So
It made sense.
yeah, so no, I agree with that, but that's what I learned too. Is you kind of have to organize the toolbox based on the athlete. You know what I'm saying? Like Al had quick feet. Al had some of the fastest feet. I mean, he even has a. I remember he had an old school YouTube video of him doing a ladder drills, right? And he really prided himself on having the best feet in the game. So the false step for him was bop, bop, bop. And so he was able to get in position to do that. Where some guys might false step and it's not as fast. So you're like, all right, I don't want to give him the false step because it really didn't
Hmm.
work for him. He's not able to get in position. Or, maybe a guy is not tall enough to do the reset. So maybe I give him a motor reset. Maybe you can teach him those certain things. And so again, it's like the best coaches can really fine tune everyone to help what the defense requires. So that's why Seattle, yeah, you had a 6'3" or 6'4" Sherm, you had a 6'4" Brandon Browner, and they both did the same technique because they both were big ass dudes that can do it. You know what I'm saying? So yes, they were big on getting those taller corners that were longer that could do that. Pete Carroll wanted that reset, and so it's always you're always learning, you're always trying to cater and really coach the player to what he needs. That's still going to allow your defense to succeed. It was I actually went to my first coaches clinic. I went to the Glazier clinic uh, where I think he's one of the best cornerback coaches is Coach Steve Ellis at Louisville. Like what he's doing there in terms of like churning out guys. Like he has so many guys playing right now in the league, and I really pride myself on the re-step, pure step kick. I call it step kick. Everybody calls it re-step, whatever. Um, but he told me something like I didn't really consider because he talked about getting two hands on, and I knew in the back of the room all the DB coaches were like, you don't want to get two hands on, like what if this
Right.
happens? But what do you say?